Hey guys, it's Filipe and Brandon here from The Drive. Today we also have Victoria here as a guest visitor. Today's video is going to be if you could go back to a decade to experience as many cars as you could, what decade would that be?
90s.
90s?
Anywhere from the 40s to 70s.
One decade, please.
I can't.
50s?
Oh, all right, 50s, perfect. Victoria's going to be 50s.
Mid-50s to mid-60s.
All right,
Okay.
We won't call it a decade. We'll give you a 10-year
span.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And I am going to do the 80s. I think I'm biased for obvious reasons. We'll get to that later on. Brandon, why do you like the 90s?
Twin turbo Supra.
Okay. Twin turbo Z. Come on. Twin turbo Z.
The 300ZX.
Twin turbo.
The Skylines.
All right.
The MR2s.
Respectable.
The E30 M3. I know it was made in like 88, but it was still around in the 90s, so don't fucking give me shit for that, people.
All right, we'll give you a couple minutes to think about a couple more.
Yeah.
What do you have for 55 to 65? Or is it just a genre?
Subaru 22B for the 90s as well.
He's just going to be yelling out cars for the rest of the drive. Hey, no pun intended. Oh, shit. Whoop, whoop. What cars would you do from the 55s to the 65s?
Well,
is
first
Bel Air?
of all, hold on.
Okay. All right.
First of all, you got 1965, the Ford Mustang.
Speak up so they can hear you.
All right, fine. 1965, the Ford Mustang, my all-time favorite car. They get to see its introduction to the world.
Perfect.
Other than that, it's the start of the muscle car wars and horsepower wars, and all the muscle cars really come alive.
Like what?
I mean, I would really prefer to be from 55 to like 75, just to see it all. But all the muscle cars came out. Pony car, the Mustang, Camaro,
Cabrero.
the Challenger and the Charger really hit big in the 60s and the 70s.
All respectable cars, but I don't think their retros do any justice nowadays. Continue. 55 to 60. Like,
stay tuned.
The Challenger.
The old one?
The new one?
I'm not talking about the new one.
I know, but I'm saying like the retro versions don't do anything like what they were doing.
No, they totally
okay,
screwed it
all right,
up. They
good.
shouldn't have done what they did.
All right, what else?
I like the old ones. The Plymouth Barracuda.
I love the
Henny
Cuda. I love the
Who
Cuda.
doesn't want a Henny Cuda?
I have a soft spot for the Cuda.
The Dodge Daytona. Oh my god.
I like the Daytona too.
And then the 50s, like, who doesn't want hot rods? Those are hot rods.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god.
I'm not a hot rod fan.
No, you're not a hot rod fan?
And then that's when the history of the world came out, you know.
History of the world. Whoa.
Drag racing basically came from 30s, 40s, 50s. NASCAR, moonshine runners.
That's a good point.
All
we have a history once on our hands.
I love me some NASCAR.
Get me some moonshine. We're gonna watch this some NASCAR.
They're turning right again.
Do these kids know how to turn left?
40s, 50s, and the 60s, and up to the mid 70s. Really.
Okay,
cars.
that's fair. 80s. Mainly the Z. I mean, the Z continued the line of Zs from, you know, late 69 to 70s to 80s. The Z was always one of the strongest GT touring cars out on the market. I think the Porsche 944 came out in the 80s as well. But then there was also like some shittier cars, like the MR2s. I think they had
the first gen MR2s were pretty sick. They were supercharged though.
Yeah, but personally for like body style,
I would
get
the
90s. Yeah,
90s
that's where it's at. But I mean, like,
you know you want a Ford Escort from the 80s.
No,
I love the Ford Escort Cosworths.
Yes, the
Okay,
Cosworths
alright.
are worth something.
yeah. But I mean, like,
Here in the US, it was a Mercure Z something, ZXRI.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
see, I don't even know all that.
those were Cosworth in disguise. Those are. If you see one on the road, don't race it because it'll beat you.
He'll die.
Is that what the guy had on Facebook the other day?
I don't know.
I think I saw a Cosworth. But for me, it's about the Z because I own a Z and I really like my Z. So I'm
Notice how I didn't mention any Hondas.
Yeah.
But I will mention one, the NSX.
Okay, yeah. That was 90s though.
That was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's another reason why 90s is the year to go.
I mean, there's a
decade ago.
The Toyota Corolla. There was a really particular year.
The A86.
That was an 80s car.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be a nice photo shoot. Didn't we hit that once?
No, we
Look
hit
at all
it.
the dead Camaros in there, guys.
Yeah, as we talk about
All
them.
the IROCs, dead IROCs from the 80s.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. I don't know. I
Yeah,
have a soft
all
spot
of this
for
would make
these.
it. All of this would make it good.
A good photo shoot. Yeah, Brandon and I are also interested in taking photos of cars. Usually I'm doing the shoots and he's making the car look good.
Yeah.
Corvettes.
On a side note,
These guys make
Oh my
sweet
God.
Corvettes.
Can we go in there someday?
Corvettes. Those were
Corvette
around forever too.
Sunday?
50s.
Oh, that was another
90s
thing.
was
Some
not
of
a
the
year for
nicest
Corvettes.
Corvettes was the 57 Corvette. Have you ever seen a 57 Corvette? Oh
I
my
couldn't
God.
identify a 57
Me
Corvette.
and my dad found one. We found two on Craigslist. One had the split rear. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. They wanted $145,000
Yeah, this is
for
where we
it.
shot.
145.
Yeah, they're worth it though.
Yeah,
That's
but
what they're worth.
but see, like that's the thing. Like some of these cars were really nice in a particular era.
Yeah.
Like the Toyota Corolla. Like, have you ever seen that meme where it's like, we fuck shit up, go back?
Yep.
From the Toyota Corolla, because my mom owns a Corolla and it's nothing like an AE86.
Yeah.
2015. That's
You know?
right. We fucked up. Go back.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Marty McFly, gotta go back.
But yeah, like you were saying for the Corvette, it's the same way.
Yeah, 90s Corvette was not the year for the Corvette.
No, I mean, but they lived through it though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fortunately.
they're
They
what?
did not make them in 1983.
Corvettes?
There's no such thing as a 1983 Corvette.
Is that
Call AutoZone and ask for an 83 Corvette crankshaft. They will not find it.
is that the thing with the Mustang owners? They're like, oh, 50 years strong. Corvette couldn't do it. Camaro couldn't do it.
Camaro went away for 10 years. So did the Charger. The Charger went away for like 20 or 30.
Yeah, and then it came back all at the same time.
Yeah, because we missed them so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But see, like, I think it's interesting our views because we're imports. Victoria has a primarily domestic household. I mean, what, 2 Fords? 3 Fords, including your brother's truck, and then 1 import from Germany.
4 if you include the friggin' truck.
Yeah.
What German car do you have?
Mercedes. E350.
E what?
E350.
Yeah. So I mean, but no, we can call you domestic. You
Yeah,
don't,
I'm domestic.
you
My
don't
mom's-
drive.
My mom's outcast.
Yeah, you don't drive the Mercedes. That's a mama's toy.
one.
So yeah, so 90s, 50s to 75 to a few others, and then 80s.
So can you justify the 80s without a Z?
That'd be hard.
Foxconn Mustang.
Foxconn.
Oh god.
What the hell is
Get
that?
out of my car.
What the hell? Is that an Army Humvee?
Yeah, it's an H1.
Or is it just a regular old?
That?
Oh my God, it's H1.
That's a little bit different.
I'll race you right now.
Yeah, you probably he'll press the
Oh.
gas and he'll run out of gas.
I would leave you for that, man. I want that all day long. Can I add that to what I would buy?
With the $45,000
Oh,
video.
never mind, I need more than 45.
We'll put that in the link below for
Can you-
people to see what we're talking
Can you roll
about.
the window down a little so I can hear him?
He won't. You won't be able to hear him
Oh,
probably.
yes, you will. Those are loud.
Oh. Is he gonna be able to see it in the camera? Man, that thing's a tank.
I'm buying that.
It just sounded like air moving.
Yeah, exactly. You asked me if the 80s didn't have a Z, would I still be interested in the 80s? Possibly. I mean, the AE86 was really cool, and it spoke a lot about like where cars came
So
from. and
you
where
go
they
back to 1980s for a Corolla?
Oh no, not at all. But you already took the 90s. I'd go back to the 90s. Hell yeah, I'd go back to the 90s.
I win again.
I'd go back to the 50s too.
Okay.
The Bel Air, all those huge 20, 30 footers. Those things would be a pain in the ass to park now.
1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville or Eldorado.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I wouldn't go back to the 80s if it wasn't for my Z. No, not at all. I'd go back with you to the 90s. Get a twin turbo or a Supra.
Yeah.
Oh, those things look good, man. I don't know. I think we covered, thanks to Victoria, a big part of like pre-80s, obviously.
Yeah.
Pre-modern.
All the domestic stuff. I don't know if there was like anything coming from like
Mercedes.
import
There
lands.
was Mercedes back there. There's Volvos.
Yeah, well, I mean nothing to like speak highly of.
Nah,
You know,
Porsche maybe.
Porsche. I don't even.
Porsche was a big deal too because they had.
There's one as we drive by it. But I
They had
mean,
the
like
roadsters.
in terms of imports, there wasn't much that I would personally go back to.
Like a 5
What year is your 240Z?
69, 70, 71. So maybe I would go back to the 70s, but then again, it would only be for the Z. They look friggin' sweet. There's some nice Jaguars back in the 70s as well,
Yes.
where people were saying like the Z came from the Jaguar XK7, I think it is. But I mean, even at
I
that
can see
rate,
that.
yeah, I mean, there's always like the top of the line cars that would be neat to own, but I don't know if I'd go
What
back.
kind of exotics were in our years?
Oh God, I don't even know.
In the 80s.
You got
There was the Ferrari GTO.
Yeah.
That thing is, oh my God, that's one of my
Enzo was
favorite.
around back then too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was getting old though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple here and there, but nothing were like,
In the,
wow, I would definitely go
in the
back
90s, there was the I don't know if the F40 was, I think the F40 was around the same time frame as the E30 M3, between like the
Right.
end of the 80s and the early 90s.
Yeah.
The F40 is my favorite Ferrari. I think with an unlimited amount of income, I would buy an F40.
And then send it to Fast and Loud so they can spray it black.
Yes. No.
You saw that one?
No.
You didn't see? There was an episode of Fast and Loud. No.
Yeah, it was Fast and Loud.
No, it was the monkey one.
Fast and Loud.
Oh yeah, Gas Monkey Garage. They completely shot a black F40.
I can't
Oh, they
do
made that thing so much nicer than a factory F40.
Yeah. It
Why?
was impressive. It was impressive.
No, see, out of the factory, you don't touch Ferraris.
They did. They rocked it.
Blasphemy!
Oh, gorgeousness.
Anyways,
Especially black.
yeah.
Who wants a black Ferrari?
Hey,
They don't
it
make
pissed
them
off
black.
all the
Loyalists.
loyalists. Thank you.
Collectors.
That's what he does. It's Gas
Tourists.
Monkey Garage. What's the guy's name? Richardson or whatever? That's what he does. Gas Monkey Garage.
I liked what he does with Mustangs.
Mustang. Yeah, but he crashed that Mustang. Yeah.
He didn't crash it. It was one of his guys.
Well, they got into an accident. It wasn't his fault.
$1,000 damage Mustang.
Anyways, that's what we have for you guys today. We got a 90s representing here. 55 to 75 to whatever she wants to say.
She
And
breaks
then
all the rules.
She breaks, yeah, this is what women do. They break all the rules. And then an 80s guy who would really only go back to the 80s for a Z. Say what you want to say about that. Let us know what you guys think. What years would you go back to? Would it be a decade even? Would it just be a particular year? I mean, there's
And
some,
for what car?
yeah, there's some cars that they only lasted, you know, one
Handful of years.
yeah, one design iteration or whatever it was. Like the
Pontiac Fiero.
Yeah.
How could I have forgotten about that?
the M30 lasted for like 12,000 units or whatever. All the Z guys are having a pain in the butt time trying to find the parts that they want from them because they just don't come up often. So if you could maybe go back and grab all the models from a particular year, would you? Stuff like that. We're interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Makes our hobby more interesting, I guess you could say. And it keeps us entertained in making these videos. So let us know what you think. Thanks, guys.